What's going on, fellow gamers? This is Days, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the Chikage katana. Now for starters, let's find out what Chikage actually means, because we love learning, don't we? It means blood shadow when both parts of the single word are translated. Chi, meaning blood, and Kage, meaning shadow. The meaning can be related to the lore, and you'll see why a little later. Let's find out how to get it first, then we'll talk about the weapon itself. So first of all, you need to defeat King Logarius, which is located in Cainhurst Castle. If you don't know how to get to Cainhurst Castle, I'm sure you'll be able to find at least one video on how to get there on YouTube. But once you get there, you want to defeat King Logarius, which is the boss of the area, and head on to Queen Annalise. Agree with her and join the Covenant. Once you've joined the Covenant, you'll be able to purchase it for 50,000 blood echoes from the Messenger and the Hunter's Dream, which isn't very cheap if you're trying to get it at an early stage in the game where you need your blood echoes to level up instead of spending it on weapons, but I decided to buy it anyways because I just couldn't wait. I personally farmed for those echoes by helping others using the small resonant bell. I'm sure you'll find your way of getting those souls. Echoes. So now we know how to get the weapon. Let's talk about it. There are 3 versions of this weapon: normal, uncanny, and lost. The only differences are the gem imprints and the locations in which they are found in. But this is the only one I've found so far, so I'll be focusing on this one. Now this weapon is just so elegantly beautiful. The sound it makes when you hit the L1 button to coat the weapon with your own blood, and the stance that the character takes is just so samurai. Very satisfying to look at. This is pretty much the equivalent of the Chaos Blade from Dark Souls, except that it doesn't suck your HP when you normally use it. However, when you hit the L1 button, it transforms from a katana to a 2-handed bloodied katana. The Chikage's transformation coats the blood in your blood, consuming 9 HP, dealing blood damage instead of physical. But keep in mind, the L1 is not something you want to use recklessly. As long as the Chikage is in its transformed state, aka the bloodied state, whatever you want to call it, it will constantly keep sucking 4 HP every about 1 or 2 seconds. So be careful. This may need more testing because I think we still deal a bit of physical damage. I have very low blood tinge at the moment. It's just 12. I was hitting enemies, and I was pretty much dealing more than 200. And that may not just be. I might be wrong. Please correct me if I am. But I'm really still testing and trying out the weapon. So yeah. So the extra damage comes from the higher blood tinge scaling. When you transform your weapon, you're essentially boosting the scaling of your weapon by changing the damage type from physical to blood, thus increasing your damage in exchange for some HP loss. And speaking of blood loss, the bloodied R2 actually sucks even more HP when initiated, making this weapon not very easy to use. Knowing that the longer the R2 is charged, the more HP you lose. A pretty dangerous weapon, and you will get killed easily if used recklessly, which I personally like. Wasn't too excited about seeing R1 mashing katana users anyway. From what we've seen so far, and judging by the little PvP experience I've had with Bloodborne, this game is the most skill-based game of all Souls games, and is pleasing if you ask me. That might be just my opinion, but that's how I see it. Now at the start of the video I talked about the meaning, and we're gonna jump into the description here and try to relate the meaning and the description together and try to figure out something here. Give you guys a little bit to speculate. Foreign-made weapon, wielded by the royal guards who protect Annalise, Queen of the Vile Bloods at Cainhurst Castle. When the intricate, rippled engraving that spans the Chikage's blade is imbued with blood, the sword sings in scarlet hues. However, the rite eats away at the wielder's very essence. So, blood shadow. Blood shadows, protecting Queen Annalise. Let that sink in for the moment. I'm gonna let you guys decide. I'm gonna let you guys speculate whatever you want to speculate, because this is what's so beautiful about Souls games. We can speculate, we can find out about things, we get surprised, we get mind blown, plot twists, bam. All that is just part of the Souls game and part of the experience. This weapon requires 10 strength, 14 skill, and 12 blood tinge. Overall, it's a pretty decent weapon. I'm still testing it out, trying to put together the most effective combos, just having fun really. And I recommend getting it if you're into katanas or skill weapons in general. That's pretty much gonna wrap up this video of Bloodborne. The game is way better than I expected. I will most probably put out a first impressions video, just not now because I have 5 midterms at the moment and I actually did one of them today, so I have 4. So yeah, I'll be a little busy for the next 2 days, 2-3 days, but I will be getting back. Most probably, as I said, will put out a first impressions video. It might just be a first impressions video overall with other people that I know, and we'll just talk about the game, and it will just turn it into a first impression discussion video. We'll see how that goes, but pretty much wraps up this video. I will see you fellow gamers later.